I'm going to show you something here. You need a little bit of patience, but it's an absolute blow-away shot. If you take a look, Avram Avinu in Pasuk Gimel says like this: Vayakam Avram me'al pnei meso. He arises from his deceased, Sarah. Vayidaber el b'nei ches leimar. He speaks to the b'nei ches, and he says, Ger v'sosha v'anochi imochem. I'm a sojourner here. Tenuli achuzas kever ibachem. The ekbera mesi milfanoi. I will bury my dead from before me. Now, pay attention very carefully, gentlemen. You need a little bit of focus here, but remarkable. He says, I will bury my dead. Which word comes first, the burial or the dead? Burial comes first, okay? Now, take a look at Pasuk Hey. Vayanu b'nei ches es Avram leimar lo. Sorry, Pasuk Vav. Shma'inu Adoni nasi Elokim ata b'zochenu b'mivchar kvarenu, in the choice of our graves, kvor es meisecha. Bury your dead. Burial before death. Keep track now, gentlemen. How many times a week? That's 2. Okay, keep track. And then they say, Ish mimenu es kivro lo yichla mimcha. No man will withhold his grave. Mikvor meisecha, from burying your dead. Number 3. And again, burial comes before dead. If you look down now to Pasuk Ches. Pasuk Ches, 2 lines later. Vayedaber itam leimor im yeshes nafshechem likbor es mesi, to bury my dead. If you are going to help me, again, what comes first? Bury the dead. Milfanai shba'uni ufigli be'Ephron. Find this man Ephron. Okay. Go to the next page. How many are up? We're up to number 4, right? Okay. Go to the next page. Second line from the top. Ephron says to him, I'm going to give it to you. And the last word on the second line, Kvor meisecha, bury your dead, number 5. Okay, 2 more, gentlemen, we're going to see 2 more. That's on page 108, second line from the top, last word. Kvor meisecha. Kvor meisecha. Page 108, second line, last word on the line, Kvor meisecha. Okay, how many we're up to? 5, right? Okay. Take a look at 4 lines later. It's the 5th line from the top of the line. Avram Avinu says to Ephron, I'm going to give you the money. The ekbira es mesi shaman. I will bury my dead there. We're up to 6. And each time, what word comes first? Bury and then dead. Okay. There's going to be one more time, and that is 2 lines later. When Ephron says to Avram Avinu, it's on Pasuk, you see on the side, it says Yud Dalet Tesvav, to jointly. It says Adoni Shma'eni, 6 lines from the top of the page. Eretz arba mil shekel kesef bini yemechamai. What's 400 shekels among cat friends? The esmeischa kvar, you're dead, you shall bury. Dead comes first. The 7th time, which word comes first? The dead comes before the burial. First 6 times is bury your dead. 7th time, buried before the burial. You know there enough to know. You've seen enough in Chumash to know there are no accidents. No accidents. So the Vilna Gaon says like this. What is Avram Avinu trying to purchase here? The cave. Which cave? Okay, number 1. Number 2, you know that there's a statement, the Gemara says, Tzadikim in their death, it's as if they're alive. Tzadikim, when they're dead, it's as if they're alive. And the Gemara makes the opposite statement. Rishoim, evil people, when alive, it's as if they're dead. They're considered dead even when they're living. Okay? Now, what that means is that a tzaddik who dies, when you bury him, essentially really what? Even when he's dead, he's still alive. So it's like you're burying a live person. And the Kabbalistic sources say there is an aspect of them that's still alive, and they die one moment before the resurrection of the dead. Whenever Tchias HaMesim will be, they'll die one moment before. In other words, if we would medically examine them, they're dead anyway. But there's some aspect of their spiritual component which is still alive even when they're dead. And it's only one moment before Tchias HaMesim that even that will be extinguished. They'll die for a moment and then come right back to life. Okay? What about Rishonim? What about evil people? Evil people are dead long before they die. They're dead even while they're alive. Okay? Now, very interesting. How many people are in Ma'oras HaMachpelah? 80? 8, correct. Who is it? Adam and Chayava. Adam and Chava are there. All right. 8, one at a time. Adam and Chava, Avram and Sarah, Yitzchak and Rivka, Yaakov and Leah. We have 8 couples there, okay? However, there's a 9th, or at least part of a 9th, which is what? Esav's head. Oh, very interesting. Now, how many people are in there at this point? Is that Avram Avinu is buying the Ma'oras HaMachpelah? So how many people are there? Just Adam and Chava. Just Adam and Chava. One couple is in there. So far, only one couple is in there. Just Adam and Chava. So now, what do we need? There's room for 6 more tzaddikim in there. Well, when tzaddikim die, what's the order? Do you die and then bury him, or you bury him and then he dies? You bury him and then he dies. So the first 6 times it says burial before death, because that's the next 6 tzaddikim who are coming in there. But what about the last time? It said, you're dead, you shall bury. Because there's going to be one more rolling in there, which is Esav's head. Oh! So the first 6 refers, well, there's 6 more tzaddikim to come in. And the order of the tzaddikim is, bury them, and then they'll die one moment before Mashiach, before Techiyas HaMesim. Esav! He's a Rasha, he's dead already before. You're dead, you shall bury. That's what the Vilna says. Otherwise it's just a typo. Right? There are no typos in Torah. There's no accident over here. That's what the Vilna Gaon says. Now, let's go back to the storyline for a second. So Avram Avinu needs to buy a plot of land.
What does it mean like they're still alive?
Good question. I'd be lying if I could tell you. Yeah. I'd be lying if I could tell you exactly what it means. Yeah. I could only tell you 2 statements. There's one statement in the Talmud that says that tzaddikim, even in death, are considered as if they're alive. All right? That means that at some level, they're still able to accumulate merit.
Like in this?
In this, they're not physically breathing. They're obviously not physically breathing. They have all the symptoms of death. But the Talmudic statement is even when dead, they're considered alive. And you couple that with a Kabbalistic statement that says some aspect of them will die one moment before the resurrection of the dead. I mean, they're not fully dead. They're not fully dead. Again, we're not talking about the physical dimension right now. We're talking about some spiritual, they're not dead the way we understand death. And then one moment before Techiyas HaMesim, that's when they're going to die. What about the Rishonim? They're dead even while they're alive. Of course, the guy's running around, they're doing all sorts of things, they're deading other people, right? But it means that there's some aspect of their spiritual accomplishment. They're dead already. You're a dead man. He's a dead man. And then he's buried. That's what it means. Like what it precisely refers to, that I can't tell you. But based on those statements, it was based on the oral Torah, so now we understand the written Torah. Why does the written Torah write it and choose to write it in that form? It's a description of that concept. Okay. Yeah. Now, in the storyline, Avram Avinu needs to buy a field. He wants to buy this Ma'oras HaMachpelah. They had a tradition. They knew that the Ma'oras HaMachpelah, Adam and Chava are buried there. And he wants to make a full sale. So he goes to this guy, Ephron. I want to show you something very interesting about this man, Ephron. Go back to the previous page. Ephron is the classic example. That's the classic example in Pirkei Avos. It says, say little and do a lot. Otherwise known as, let your actions do the talking. Avram Avinu had 3 guests. What did he say to them? Come on in and have some bread. What did he give them? A repast. Tongue, each one a whole tongue, right? He said little and he did a lot. Otherwise known as let your actions do the talking. As one of the guys in the yeshiva once said to me, if I'm good at something, people will hear about it. And if I'm not good at it, why would I want people to hear about it? So why talk? The guy in the yeshiva told me that. If you're good, cream rises to the top. That's a rule in life. Cream rises to the top. If you're good at something, especially making money, somebody will find you. If you're good at making money, somebody will find you. You don't have to. If you're good at anything in life, people will find out about it. If you're not good at life, you don't have to go tooting your own horn. I told you my favorite Musar lesson growing up when I wasn't learning much Musar. Remember with Muhammad Ali? Fought Kenny Norton. I've mentioned this many times. Muhammad Ali fought Kenny Norton, and he was a great talker. Ali was a great talker. And he talked the whole time about what he's going to do to Norton, what he's going to do to Norton. Then they fought. Norton broke his jaw. Knocked him out and broke his jaw. And the headline, the front cover of Time magazine, I mean, this is international news, right? Right? He had the big picture of his swollen jaw. The jaw is broken, but the mouth lives on. That was the caption. That was the caption. They had a big picture of Ali even talking even after the fight. What good does all the talk do? You're the one with the broken jaw on the canvas. What does all the talk wasn't worth anything because now you got the broken jaw. Don't talk and knock the other guy out. Then we all saw what happened, right? So that's a rule in life. If you're good at something, people find out. If you're not good at it, what all the talking? What's all the announcing? By the way, I'll give you a golden piece of advice. It's parenthetical. Never tell people your plans. Because you're in for aggravation. You know, sometimes people are like, oh, we're planning a vacation this summer. We plan on going to Niagara Falls, blah, 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 blah. Now, one of two things is going to happen. Either you're going to go or you're not going to go. So if you don't go, or you're saying, oh, by the way, I plan on getting a job. I have a real good job offer coming up. Then you don't get the job. So what happens every time somebody sees that, hey, how's the job going? Well, I didn't get it. Now you got to rehash the whole story to everybody that you blabbed about earlier. Don't say anything. Once you got the job and you're telling people what to do, then you can talk about your job. Yeah, what do you do? Well, I've got a vice presidential position, in a certain, what do you call it? Then you would then talk. And then the other way, if you don't have, why talk? What does the talking do? The worst bet is don't talk. Don't talk. So Avram comes to this man, Ephron. I want to buy your field. Now, take a look at what Ephron says to him. First of all, let me just show you something very, very unique on page 106. Avram says, V'yita, 4 lines from the bottom, back on page 106. V'yitan lias ma'aras ha'machpela. By the way, it's called ma'aras ha'machpela. You know why it's called machpela? The word machpela comes from the word kaful. It's got the word kaful, doubled. It is doubled with couples there. It's doubled. There's one opinion because it's double 2 floors. So it says, V'yitan lias ma'aras ha'machpela asher lo, asher b'ktzei sadehu, at the edge of his field. Then he says, "Bekesef mola yitenu li b'socha mechuzah." I want to buy it full price. Avraham Avinu makes that clear right off the bat. I want to buy it full price. He wants to buy it because he knows if he doesn't buy it full price, then there's always going to be, well, we didn't really give it. I didn't. I want to buy it. I want to buy it full. I'll pay whatever. I just want it to be mine. Okay. Now, gentlemen, you notice the word b'ktzei sadehu. What does b'ktzei sadehu mean? At the edge of the field. And what happens at the edge of the field in agriculture? You know anything about what are you supposed to leave for poor people? Meiser. At the corner of the field, what do you leave? Pay. Meiser is something, you give something called peah. Pei aleph hay is the peah that you leave at the corner of the field. You're not allowed to harvest the final corner of the field. Different amounts of what the official amount area is, but you're not allowed to harvest the corner of the field. Now I want to show you something here in Jews. Here's where it says b'ktzei sadehu. B'ktzei sadehu is the corner of the field, right? Now, look at the next 3 words. You see what it says, Bekesef Mala Yitnena? Look at the last letter in each one of those 3 words. You get the Bekesef, the last letter is a pei. Mala, the last letter is an aleph. And Yitnena, the last letter is a hey. What does pei, aleph, hey spell? Peah, right after the word K'tzei Sadeo. Right after the edge of his field, the last 3 letters of the next 3 words spell out the word peah. And it's the only time in the Torah where you find this sequence. Peah means the corner of the field that you give to the poor person, but it's the corner of the field. And right after the word b'ktzei sadehu, an accident, right? Coincidence. Right after the word b'ktzei sadehu, then you got the word peah spelled out in the sequence, the last 3 letters of the last 3 letters, and it's the only time in Torah that appears. Only time in Torah such a thing appears. All right. Another, so, in case people, some people like that sort of thing, right? Like Hashem. So now Avram says, "I'll pay for it." What does Ephron say? Turn to the top of the next page. One of the interesting conversations. It says, "Lo Adoni, no, my master. Shma'ini, listen to me. Hasada nasati lach. I'm giving you the field. Ve'ameora asher bo lechonasidi. I'm giving you the cave. Le'nei b'nei ami, in front of my people, I'm giving it to you. Kfor b'neisecha. In front of everybody, I'm giving it to you." So one of the commentators point out, you know what he was really saying? In front of everybody, I'm giving it to you. But in the back room, you're going to pay me for it. What they see is that I'm giving it to you, but we'll work this out. We'll work this out back there. We'll work this out. But it sounds like he's the most generous guy in the world. I'll give you the field. That's why Pirkei Avos says, say little and do a lot. Avram Avinu said bread, and he gave three portions. I gave them a feast. Ephron says, I'll give you a freebie. How much does he end up taking? 400 silver pieces, which apparently were major coins in those days. It was an exorbitant price for burial land, which is always the worst piece of land. For burial plot, he took 400. The Mishnah Pirkei says he said a lot and he didn't even do a little. Right? That's the opposite of Avram Avinu. Now you'll notice, what does Avram Avinu do? So Avram Avinu says to him in Pasuk, after this generous offer, it's 4 lines from the top. 4 lines from the top. He says to him, Achi matalush ma'eni. Please listen to me. Nasati kesef asada. I've given the money for the field. Kach mimeni. Take it. The ekberas mesi shama. And I'll bury my dead there. Here, take it. Take the money. Vayan Ephron es Avram lemor lo Adoni shma'eni. Eretz arba me'el shekel kesef binim v'chamay. Okay, what's 400 shekel between friends? Everyone says, please take money. Everyone says, okay, what's 400 shekel between friends? Ves beslak for. Okay. So then before she, what happened to Ephron? What happened to the man? The man was talking so generous. What happened to him? What happened to Ephron?
His true side came out.
Why?
His money was involved.
Because money was involved. Yeah, but so why did he even start generous? I mean, something changed here.
Because he was
Once he
looking
mentioned
good in
the
front of
400
people.
shekel.
Looking good in front of the people, okay, but something seems to have gone awry. I mean, he may have started with good intentions. So you know, the unfortunate say there's a famous story. I don't know if it's a true story. I don't know if it's an apocryphal story. There is a story of a debate between the Rambam and the philosophers. The philosophers said that a human being is nothing different than an animal. And animals can be trained to be just like human beings. The Rambam said, no, they can't. So they decided they're going to settle this once and for all. So they took a cat, and they trained a cat to be a waiter. They put the cat's walking around with the thing. And the Rambam's sitting with the philosophers. And there's a cat coming and waiting on the table. And the philosophers are all sitting there saying, see, can I see? And the Rambam says, I see. And the Rambam reaches down and pulls out a little bag. Pulls out a mouse from the bag and he throws the mouse out. The cat also dumps a tray and he's out chasing the mouse. On all fours. There go all of his waiter etiquette. Right? And he's like, can't train a cat to be a human being. Ephron's talking a great game. But then when Avram Avinu says to him, please, take the money. Oh, now he's holding it out. Once he holds it out, at that point, you could talk. And had he never shown any money, it might have gone through. Avram Avinu showed the mouse. Money's sitting there. Yeah, the money's there on the table. Now there it goes. There goes all the etiquette and it's all gone. Why? Because he saw the money. That's what happened to Ephron. Ephron gets his bell rung by the money. That's out the window. One last point. Look at the very last time Ephron's name is mentioned. Pasuk Tesayin. On page 108, 8 lines from the top. Vayishma Avram el Ephron. Avram listens to Ephron. Vayishkol Avram le Ephron es hakesef asher diber. He gives him the money. Up until this point, every time it says Ephron's name, there's a vav written in there. This time it says le Ephron, Aleph, Pei, Reish, Nun. Aleph, Pei, Reish, Nun. And this is where Rashi points out he said a lot and he didn't even do a little bit. You know what's interesting? Look at the numerical value of the word Ephron. Ayin is 70. Pei is 80. How much?
150.
Reish is 200. How much is that? 200. Plus 150. 350. And the final Nun? Another 50. How much is it? 400. And that's the 400 that he took. You know what the root of the word Ephron is? Ophir means dirt.
Dirt?
The guy's dirt. The guy's mud. Right? And Ephron gets raked in our literature for being such a low life. You're no good, Nick. You're offering, then you go and you take 400 silver pieces for a piece of what do you got? You're Ephron. You're dirt. And that 400, by the way, the number 400 always represents something not good. Number 400. When Esav attacks Yaakov, how many men does he have with him?
400.
400 men. There are said to be, the Satan is said to have 400 forces of evil with him. The gang, you've heard of the Bloods, the Crips. There's a satanic, the Latin Kings, right? There's a Satan's gang. He's got 400 guys with him, right? Whatever it is that they're how we do that. That's you got the Satan, the Satans, the Shin and the Satan's letters over there, right? He's got 400 men with him. Remember the bet when the two men made a bet if they could get Hillel upset? How much was it? 400 zuz. Anytime you see the number 400 lurking, the 400 years in Egypt, the Jewish people were in exile, right? Anytime you see the number 400 lurking, you always have to suspect there might be trouble. This man Ephron is the number 400. All right, gentlemen.
If someone gives me 400 shekel, thank you.
400 shekel, take it. Yeah, take it. Actually, no, it's bad for you. Give it to me.